The Amazing Spider-Man 2, internationally marketed as The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Rise of Electro, is a 2014 American superhero film featuring the Marvel comic character Spider-Man. The film was directed by Mark Webb and produced by Avery Everett and Matt Tolmach. It is the fifth theatrical Spider-Man film produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Entertainment. It acts as a sequel to the 2012 hit Amazing Spider-Man and the second and final film in the Amazing Spider-Man duology. The studio hired James Vanderbilt to write the screenplay and Alex Kurtzman and Robert Ocasek to rewrite it. The film stars Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker aka Spider-Man alongside Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, Jamie Foxx as Electro, Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, Campbell Scott, Ellen Biff Davidwitz, Colin Firth, Paul Giamatti and Sally Field as Aunt May. Development of The Amazing Spider-Man began after the success of the first one, and filming took place in New York City from February to June 2013. It was released in 2D, 3D and IMAX on May 2nd, 2014 in the US, with two international premieres being held between March 31st and April 10th of that year. It received mixed reviews from critics and audiences and grossed $709 million worldwide, making it the ninth highest grossing film of 2014. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was originally envisioned as the beginning of a shared fictional universe, which would have continued with two sequels and several spin-offs. Most notable films centered on Venom and Sinister Six. Due to performing below expectations, all subsequent installments were cancelled and a new iteration of the character portrayed by Tom Holland in the MCU began with the Captain America Civil War film. And what is this film all about? Well, confident with his powers as Spider-Man, Peter Parker embraces his new role as a hero and spends time with Gwen Stacy in between protecting New York from criminals. However, his greatest battle is yet about to begin with the emergence of Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. Peter must confront an enemy far more powerful than he is, and when his old friend Harry Osborn returns, Peter comes to realize that all his enemies have one thing in common: Oscorp. Can Spider-Man save the day? Well, you gotta watch the film for me to tell you that. And let's talk about the good of this film. And the good of this film is definitely the visual look of it. At the point when watching this movie at the time, this was the best looking Spider-Man movie ever made. Like, the cinematography was amazing. If you look back in the previous Spider-Man films, Spider-Man literally would swing on like the New York skyscrapers, but it'd be like kind of a straight motion, you know. But in this one, he's not just swinging forwards and backwards, he's going left and right, he's going vertically, horizontally, he's going this way, and it's just like, he's just going crazy. Like, it feels like you're actually like flying with him, you know. And it just feels so cool, and the way he's just swinging, and it just looks so sick, you know. Like, the visual effects are amazing. I think the first 10 minutes is definitely one of my favorite sequences. Spider-Man saving New York and doing his thing, you know. I absolutely did like that, you know. I flipping loved it and I enjoyed it. I once again do enjoy Andrew Garfield's performance as Peter Parker. He literally embraces his role, and I feel like he really enjoys playing this character so damn well, you know. Like, it is everything, you know. And he is a fan of Spider-Man, of course. It is his everything in a way. And I love Emma Stone's performance as Gwen Stacy. Once again, she brings her A game in this role, and she actually becomes more useful. In fact, there are times in the film where, if not for Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man would have failed. And you realize how much of an importance she plays to the role, and she's actually pretty cool and feisty and badass, and she's definitely one of my favorite like, in a way, like, sidekick characters of the Spider-Man films, you know. I really do like her performance, and I like her character as well, you know. I feel like, yeah, Sally Field and everyone else, all the previous guys from the first ones, they all did pretty well, you know. They all did a really good job, you know. And the introduction to a new Harry Osborn, I do like Dane DeHaan's version of Harry Osborn, you know. He's a very, very different version to the James Franco version, to be honest with you. This version is like, apparently he was sent to boarding school at the time Peter's parents disappeared, maybe a few years after that, and I think they were like, what, 9 or 10 at the time. And yeah, he eventually assumes the role of the Green Goblin after injecting a special serum of spider venom into his body, because apparently Harry's like illness is genetic because his father, Norman Osborn, died from it. And yeah, I do like Dane DeHaan's performance. I think he gives a very kind of odd, very edgy performance to Harry Osborn. It's pretty good and I pretty like it. I do really enjoy that performance. And I do like the visual effects at times. Like obviously I did say that, and I love the score by Hans Zimmer. It's really, really great. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, it's phenomenal, it's fantastic as well. The editing is also quite nice as well at times. It can be pretty nice. I like how it cuts nicely to one scene to another, and yeah, but that is the only positive I'm going to give this film, because holy moly, there's so much to talk about. And the mixed aspect of the film, the mixed aspect, is the whole side story involving Peter Parker's father. Yeah, the film begins with like Richard Parker basically and his wife Mary running away, and spoiler alert, we all know, being killed in the plane crash. And apparently he uploads this video, and I don't know, this whole side story with involving Richard Parker is just kind of underdeveloped in a way. I don't think they developed it that well, to be honest with you. If they really wanted to go this route, they probably should have developed it better in the first film, but I felt like that side story wasn't really handled well in a way. And it's like, this film has a lot of those. It has a lot of these side stuff happening. It's even got the side story with Peter and him trying to not get Gwen Stacy involved and his conflicts about that. And then he got Peter Parker and his relationship with Harry Osborn and him not wanting to give the Spider-Man serum to him. And then there's just so much of that, going on. Then you got Max going on, and it's like there's all these characters doing their things, and I feel like it's just kind of too much in one. There's just too much going on in this film, and I don't think it's handled well, to be honest with you. But let's get back to Richard Parker. And yeah, like, stuff happens in the film, and we get to find out some secrets and lies about what Richard Parker was involved, and it's underdeveloped so badly. When it's revealed the truth about what Richard Parker was really going on, I was like, that's really, really, really not that, great, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it was written that well, but I felt like it was still pretty damn entertaining, and I was really interested in it. But in all honesty, the negatives solely goes onto the main villain, and that's Jamie Foxx's character as Electro. Now, Jamie Foxx, he's a good actor, this dude. He acts the heck out of his roles in any movie he plays, But this role, he's playing Max Dillon, an electrical engineer who works for Oscorp's Industry, and from a freak accident on his birthday, he transforms into a powerful electrical creature following the accident, then taking the name of Electro. And the thing is that this guy, I don't know, he's like this guy who's obsessed with Spider-Man, and it feels like no one really acknowledges him and respects him. And okay, I'll give him credit, I do kind of relate to that in a way, but I don't know, like he has obsession with Spider-Man, and I thought, okay, fair enough, but then he turns to Electro, and then he wants to kill Spider-Man because Spider-Man's more popular than him. That's his reason. That is his number one goal, to defeat Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is more popular than him, and he wants to become known just like Spider-Man in a way. And that really wasn't developed that well at all. When he becomes Electro, he becomes this cartoony comic book like character. He is definitely one of the worst villains in the Spider-Man films, cinematic film universe, whatever you want to call it. He's just not that great. He's really, really not a great character. Even his design is kind of pathetic in a way. It's a very pathetic design, And also, despite me loving Dane DeHaan's performance as Harry Osborn, I just didn't like it when he became the Green Goblin. He looked weird as flip. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way he was performing. It looked stupid. It looked dumb. I hated it so much, to be honest with you. I didn't like it at all. It just didn't work for me. Maybe in the future films when they were planning it, it could have been done well and developed well, but personally, I think it was underdeveloped. I don't think it was written well, to be honest with you. And the whole kind of writing of this film just feels, it lacks anything, and the problem with this film is that, I don't know, I feel like the studio wanted so much to happen. They were setting up future installments of the Sinister Six, Spider-Man 3, and all these other movies he had in their bags, they were flipping planning it, Sony had originally intended the film to launch an expansive universe around Spider-Man to compete with the MCU. In 2013, Sony announced a third Amazing Spider-Man with a release date of June 10th, 2016, which Alex Kurtzman, Robert Oke, and Jeff Pinkar would return to rewrite, and a fourth film with a release date of May 4th, 2018. Additionally, the scenes was to include spin-off films featuring the Sinister Six and Venom, with Drew Goddard writing and directing Sinister Six and Kurtzman directing a Venom script co-written by himself. Sinister Six had been planned for a November 11th release in 2016. Additionally, by August 2014, Sony had hired Lisa Joy Nolan to write the script for a 2017 film starring Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat. In addition, Sony revealed plans for a spin-off based on Spider-Man 2099 to be released in late 2017. However, between December 2013 and the release of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 in May 2014, Andrew Garfield and Mark Webb revealed that while they would both return for the third film, neither was certain of their involvement in the fourth, with Webb adding that he would certainly not be directing. Following the mixed critical reviews and financial low box office performance of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the future of the franchise was very, very unclear. By July 2014, originally, The Amazing Spider-Man 3 would have included Chris Cooper returning as Norman Osborn and focused on Peter recovering from Gwen's death, which was delayed to an unspecified date of 2018, and The Amazing Spider-Man 4 was moved to a later unknown date. Following the 2014 Sony Pictures Entertainment hack, Sony was revealed to have been in talks to have Sam Raimi return to the franchise to direct a new trilogy for the character, and was in discussion with Marvel Studios about including Spider-Man in the MCU film Captain America Civil War. Marvel reportedly was unhappy with some of the terms of the proposed agreement, including the film rights, saying with Sony, and both talks allegedly ceased. However, in early 2015, a deal between the studios that allowed Spider-Man to be in the MCU was finally reached. So that's the problem with this film, is that it set up this huge universe that they were planning in this one film with the Sinister Six, and it led to nothing. And when you watch this film, it just feels like it's just building up to something bigger in the next film, and it never comes. And it's a weird hollowish movie, despite it being acted really well and filmed really well and having a great soundtrack and score. It's by no means a bad film. Heck, it's actually a pretty good film. But as a Spider-Man movie, as what Marvel fans want from Spider-Man, it's a pretty weak Spider-Man film. And for that, I'm gonna have to give Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a C-. Go check it out, but it's likely that you've already seen it. But thank you for watching this review. Please like and share this video and comment down below and tell me what's your favourite Spider-Man film. With that said, thank you for watching. As always, a board review signing out.